Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start with unit number 3, that is stability analysis. Under this stability analysis, we will learn characteristics equation of a system, concept of pole and zero, response of various pole locations in S-plane, concept of stability, absolute stability, relative stability, stability of system from pole locations, Routh-Hurwitz stability criteria, root locus, definition, magnitude and angle conditions. Construction of root locus, concept of dominant poles, effect of addition of pole and zero on root locus, application of root locus for stability analysis. In a previous units, we will overview the syllabus. First unit is Introduction to Control Systems and its Modeling, under which we have studied basic elements of control system, open loop and closed loop system, differential equation and transfer function, modeling of electrical system, translational and rotational mechanical system, block diagram reduction technique, signal flow graph, etc. Unit number 2, which was related to time domain analysis, then transient response and steady state response, standard test inputs for time domain analysis, order and types of system, transient analysis of first and second order system, time domain specifications of second order underdamped system for its step response, steady state error and static error constant. Then we switch to unit number 3, that is stability analysis. Just before I have told what are the syllabus of stability analysis. Then we will learn unit number 4, that is frequency domain analysis. Frequency response and frequency domain specification, correlation between time domain and frequency domain specification, polar plot, Nyquist stability criteria and construction of Nyquist plot, Bode plot, determination of frequency domain specification and stability analysis using Nyquist plot and Bode plot. This is from unit number 4. From unit number 5, state space representation, there will be transfer function from state space, physical variable form, phase variable forms, controllable canonical form, observable canonical form, solution of homogeneous state equations, state transition matrix and its properties, computation of state transition matrix by Laplace transform method only. Then unit number 6, that is controllers and digital control systems, concept of controller, basic on-off controller, concept of dead zone, introduction to PID, PI, PD and PID controllers, offset of controller, integral reset, PID characteristics, concept of Ziegler-Nicholas method, concept of industrial automation, need of IoT-based industrial automation and so on. So this was related to brief about total syllabus. Now let us switch to unit number 3, that is stability analysis. Stability analysis means we have to analyze the stability of the system, whether the system, let it be an amplifier, let it be an attenuator, let it be a low pass filter, let it be a high pass filter, such type of systems are there. If input is applied to the system and corresponding output is taken, the corresponding output will be there. Irrespective of temperatures and other parameters, system should be stable. That is what the criteria is. Initially we design a system on paper and then we go for hardware design of the system to analyze the system, whether that system is stable or not. We find out Laplace transform and put its pole and zeros location on the Laplace transform S-plane, and then we analyze whether system is stable or not. It is important to study mathematical analysis first. Based upon this mathematical analysis, we analyze whether that system will remain stable forever or not, and then we go for designing part. Now as far as stability is concerned, you will find figure, the first figure poles are lights on left hand side of the S plane, normally I have a characteristics equation. There will be a C of S upon R of S, which is equal to some numerator divided by denominator. Denominator relates with the poles of the system and numerator relates with the zeros of the system. If poles or the denominator equation is solved, if it is a double order system or second order system, there are two poles to the denominator, and that poles lies on the left hand side of the S plane and on the X axis. Poles are real, then system response will be decreasing, or it is called a absolutely stable system. That means after certain time period that system will become stable. If poles lies on left hand side, then it will be absolutely stable system if poles are 2. Then complex conjugate poles, if poles are 2 and complex conjugate of each other, then system is damped, oscillated and absolutely stable. This is a stable system. That means output will be stabilized if input is a unit step input. Here we are considering unit step input at all systems. Unit step input is there, their corresponding output will get stabilized after certain time period. If poles lies on imaginary axis of the S plane, corresponding output will be marginally stable. It will become unstable for a long period and it becomes stable for a short period. It is called marginally stable. That means this is output with reference to input. If poles lies on J axis of the S plane, then and there are 4 poles, then system is unstable. Unstable means it will continuously increasing or it will stay as it is. Then this is called unstable system. If poles lies on the right hand side, then system becomes unstable. Okay, if poles lies on the right hand side, system becomes unstable. So this is what unstable and stable system is. Stable means after certain time period it decays, and after certain time period it increases, oscillates. It is called unstable system. If it is oscillating system at the output side, irrespective of input to the system, corresponding output is called unstable and system is called unstable system. Now from first we will understand what is meant by stability. The concept of stability can be understood by considering a right circular cone placed on a plane horizontal surface. The cone is resting on its base and is tipped slightly. It returns to its original position. This position is called stable position. Means cone is resting on the flat surface is a stable position, and if we try to stand it on its base, it will not stand, it will come down to horizontal resting position. It's called stable position, and the tilted angle is called unstable position. If the cone rests on its side and is displaced slightly, it rolls and leaves the position. This position is called critically stable or marginally stable, and after certain time period it becomes unstable. It is called marginally stable. For a particular time period, in a figure also we have said it is unstable. This example I am giving a physical example, and in the previous figures we have seen this is related to electronic signals. Example was related to electronic signals, and here I am giving you physical example so that you will be more clear about the stability. If the cone is placed on its tip and released, it falls on its sides. This position is called unstable position. The stability of a damping dynamic system is defined in a similar manner. The response of system will be decreasing, neutral or increasing. The concept of stability is very important to analyze and design the system. System is said to be stable if there is not much changes in the output, even when small changes in the system inputs are made in initial condition or in system parameters. Stability is very important characteristics of transient performance of the system. If the system is reaching to steady state even with minor steady state error, then the system is said to be stable. Stability is related with the roots of this characteristics equation of a system transfer function. So, as I told you, if there is little change in the input parameter, their output should not change largely, and that system is called a stable system. Hence, everybody is trying to design a stable system. Means, stable system means what? Corresponding to one input. If amplifier is there, output will be 10 say. Corresponding to 2 input, amplifier's output will be 20. Corresponding to 3 input, output will be 30. Corresponding to 4 input, output will be 40, and so on. There should not be such the condition that if input is 2, corresponding output will be 21 or 22. If input is 3, corresponding output will be 33 or 34, like that. That is called unstable system. Whereas corresponding to 1, 10 output, corresponding to 2, 20 output, it is called a stable system. And that's why it is important to learn the stability of the system on paper. A linear time invariant system is stable if system is subjected to bounded input and corresponding output will be a bounded. That means bounded input, bounded output, system becomes stable. Now, why we consider linear time invariant system? In a signals and system, you might have studied linear time invariant. Means corresponding to time, it should not change. Suppose your transistor or a linear amplifier, you are checking at room temperature, say 25 degree in Pune, corresponding output gain is 10 and output will be 10 if input is 1 volt. Gain of the amplifier is 10 here. And same system, if I place in Himalayan region where temperature is minus 20 degree, minus 30 degree, at that temperature range, amplifier should get 10 gain. There should not be change in gain, and that is called time invariant system, and system's output is also linear. Linear and time invariant system is stable. In the absence, input output must tend to 0 irrespective of initial conditions. Consider transfer function C of s is equal to am into s raised to m plus am minus 1 s raised to m minus 1 plus dash 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 plus a1 into s plus a0 divided by bn into s raised to n plus bn minus 1 s raised to n minus 1 plus dash 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 b1 into s plus b0. The output is given by output is given by C of t, and so though it is a transfer function in terms of Laplace transform, there are poles at the denominator and some zeros in the numerator, and by considering these poles and zeros we will analyze whether system is stable or not. For a sufficiently large time, if impulse response approach to 0, then system is stable. Okay, if the time response reaches to infinity after certain time period, the system is said to be unstable. Keep in mind. Now, what is Bibo stability? We can say that if all the roots of characteristics equation have negative real parts, then the system is stable. If any of the root of the given characteristics equation means equation of the denominator, if it has positive real part, then the system is unstable. That means I explain you, if poles lies on left hand side of the S plane j omega axis, then system is stable. If it lies on right hand side of the S plane, the system is unstable, which is mentioned here. That means roots of characteristics equation, if lies on the left hand side or negative side, system is stable. If the roots of the given characteristic equation lies on the right hand side, system is unstable. If there is repeated roots on imaginary axis or j omega axis, it is called unstable system, but marginally stable also may be word used there. Let us understand definitions of systems stability. Other than stable and unstable system, the system can be differentiated into conditionally stable and marginally stable system. Now, conditionally stable system we will understand. A LTI system is said to be conditionally stable if for a certain condition of particular parameter of the system, that is, stability depends upon condition of the parameter of the system. And let us understand critically a marginally stable system. A LTI system is said to be critically or marginally stable if for a bounded input its output oscillates with certain amplitude and frequency. We will learn stability graphically one by one. Real, if poles, left hand poles, real axis, single pole is there, 1 upon s minus a. For this Laplace transform, pole is lying on s is equal to minus a, that is on the left hand side of the s plane, j omega axis versus sigma. The system is decaying exponentially and this is called absolutely stable. Left hand side pole, real axis related poles, if it is double, s plus, if system is 1 upon s plus a bracket square, s is equal to minus a, and that lies on the left hand side double pole, then system output is absolutely stable as given in the figure. So this is a stable output. Output I am considering, I am not saying it is input. Okay, this f of s is related to output c of s. LHP complex conjugate pole, if there are two poles lies on the negative side or left hand side of the s plane and they are complex conjugate of each other, then system is damped oscillations, output is damped oscillation, and output is absolutely stable because it is stabling after certain time period, it is decaying after certain time period. J omega axis single pole, f of s is equal to 1 upon s square plus a square. That means there are two poles lies on j omega axis, and so increasing amplitude is there. It is called marginally stable. Repeated j omega axis, repeated poles. There are four poles on j omega axis, repeated poles on j omega axis. Then system does not settle, it will continue at the output side, so it is called unstable system. If poles lies at the s is equal to 0, or single pole lies on s is equal to 0 at the origin, then output is a ramp output, and it is called marginally stable. Output is marginally stable. Origin repeated poles s is equal to 0 and double pole at the s is equal to 0, it is increasing output, and it is also called unstable system. RPH real axis, f of s is equal to 1 upon s minus a, pole lies on right hand side of the s plane, then it is output is constant amplitude oscillation. As it is a constant output oscillation, it is an unstable system. If real axis repeated poles are there at s is equal to a and double poles are there, then output is exponentially increasing, parabolically increasing, and it is called unstable system. Next part, that is Raut-Hurwitz stability criteria, we will learn in the next lecture. Thank you.